Hey, what's up, all Wrestling Fortune viewers? I'm Owen Finch, and I am the Wrestling Fortune champion. And I am finally get to review this DVD right here. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bottom line on the most popular superstar of all time. So I'm just going to show you the cover. The cover actually isn't too bad. I'm going to show you the sides now. Let's see if it... So it's the match with Bret Hart at Mania, and it shows him flipping off people. I'm going to show you the disc 1, disc 2. We could look here. I'm going to show you now what it says on the other stuff. It has a skull and it says Stone Cold. This one is Arrival. This one is Raise Hell. This one is Leave. So I guess it's when he left. Now, I'm going to cover every disc of every single thing that happened in here. So, I'll get to the first part of the disc. It was, well, I guess you can say it was the first part was the documentary. I'm not really going to cover the documentary too much because I don't want it to really to be spoilers, but it pretty much just mentions everything that happened in his career, which I thought was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, because I got to find out stuff I didn't know about Stone Cold Steve Austin, stuff that I don't know, and maybe go back and watch. Now, I'll just get on with this too, with the matches. And Stone Cold said he picked every match, for every person. So, like, he's picked every one of these matches. I don't think he got every match that he wanted to on here, but he got enough matches that he wanted to. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much what it did. Then he has a match with Gentleman Chris Adams on 1990. It was like Gentleman Chris Adams, if you didn't know, is his trainer. He pretty much trained him. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Gentleman Chris Adams and him had a pretty good match actually. It wasn't even that much of really like a good camera effects, but you don't really need to have the HD stuff and all that to have a good match. He actually threw a chair at him at one. Chris Adams actually threw a chair at Stone Cold, also known as Stunning Steve Austin at that time. Stunning Steve Austin did dominate in the beginning, but then Chris Adams went for a suplex in the ring. I don't remember who the manager's name was, but it was a woman, and she pulled Stone Cold down, Chris Adams down, and Stone Cold was able to get the pinfall. Then Stone Cold attacked him a little bit. Then Chris Adams fought him off, and then they kind of ran away. So that was pretty much it. But it wasn't the best match ever, but it was a good match to watch. I liked it when he threw the chair at Stone Cold's face. This is back when Stone Cold had hair. Let me see if it shows you. It doesn't show him with the hair, but it's definitely a good thing to look up. The next match is Stunning Steve Austin and Ric Flair versus Sting and Ricky Steamboat. This happened in 1994. This match was actually a good tag team match. I will say that. But I think Sting was a little overpowered. Like, I thought Cena and Hogan were overpowered, but this was worse than them. Like, he got a suplex, and he stood right back up. Like, I understand Hulk Hogan, that's overpowered. Hulk Hogan got a tombstone, and he stood right back out. But a suplex. So, yeah, that was pretty overpowered. So, it took a while for the Stunning Steve Austin and Flair to get control. And I like how Flair went and taunted the audience, and, I like how him and I'm gonna call him, I think her name is Sudden Sherry or something. Um, him and Sting got into her and Sting got into a conflict. Then they did dominate Steamboat. Sting came in and attacked Flair. Stunning Steve Austin did a sunset flip to Steamboat. 1, 2, 3. The match was over. Not really any complaints. So Stunning Steve Austin and Flair won the match. By Stunning Steve Austin doing a sunset flip to Ricky Steamboat. Not really any complaints right there. It was a good match. Just like I said, Sting was a little overpowered, and I think it should have ended with a finisher. But so next match, it was the King of the Ring final, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Jake the Snake Roberts. This happened at King of the Ring 1996. Now, as for the match, not the best match. It wasn't the best match. It wasn't really. It was more of a squash. Stone Cold pretty much squashed. Stone Cold pretty much squashed Jake the Snake Roberts. It was a squash match. He worked on the ribs. Stone Cold gave Jake the Snake Roberts a stunner. The match was over after that. Yeah, that was pretty much all the match was. But it was understandable because that was a career-defining moment for Stone Cold. He ended up winning the King of the Ring. He cut a promo saying, "Get that piece of trash out of that ring," because Stone Cold Steve Austin said, "I just whooped your ass." And if you don't like that. So yeah, he pretty much cut that promo. But the match wasn't the best, but it's understandable why it's on this DVD. Next match. This match was very good. A submission. This happened at WrestleMania 13. Submission match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart. Now, they actually had alternate commentary between Stone Cold and Jim Ross. Which not really any complaints from. And I think they did a great job with the commentary. Not really any complaints for them doing the commentary. Stone Cold pretty much said, my name is Stone Cold, that, this match was a career-defining moment. Not in a, like it wasn't a, even though he lost, it was a career-defining moment for him. I liked it when, but the match itself was very good. It went into the crowd a lot. I liked it when, Bret Hart threw Stone Cold into the steel post, and Stone Cold went, "Thank you, Bret." So yeah, that was pretty cool. But then they fought in the crowd. They had a very good. So this wasn't really like a. And even Stone Cold said it's not a wrestling match. This is a brawl. These are two guys that hate each other. So that was pretty cool how he brought that up. Stone Cold threw Bret Hart into the steel steps. Bret Hart worked on the leg throughout the match. He was a very good technical wrestler. And even Stone Cold said, all the tough enough people ask, "What should I do to in a wrestling ring?" And he's like, "You don't need to do any of these high flying moves. All you need to do is work on a body part, and yeah, just work on a body part, and stay on that body part." So that was cool. By the way, I should have mentioned that the guest referee in this match was Ken Shamrock. I should have mentioned that. And Bret Hart ended up getting a chair and a bell. Bret Hart went to go on the top rope. Stone Cold hit him off the in the back with the chair. He hit him a lot. Then Stone Cold gave him throughout the match would give him a world's strongest slam, and Stone Cold said he didn't know why he slammed him like that. But so that was cool how he brought that up. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin did it. This was I liked it how his daughter, Bret Hart's daughter, was like it was like hard. I don't know her for what to watch. Stone Cold went to throw Bret Hart, I guess into the rail, but Stone Cold went to the announce table and his head his head hit the rail head first, and he even said that's where he got busted open. Then Bret Hart would work on the head. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin got put in the sharpshooter. He had a really tough time. Stone Cold would end up coming back, did a superplex, took as much out of him. Then Bret Hart ended up hitting Stone Cold off the head with the bell. Bret Hart put Stone Cold in the sharpshooter. Stone Cold would not quit. He passed out. Ken Shamrock he said these words: "Stone Cold, please answer, or I'm gonna have to stop this match." So then he stopped the match. Bret Hart ended up winning the match. Bret Hart tried to continue the attack. Ken Shamrock pushed Bret Hart. Then Bret Hart left the ring. Stone Cold even said that actually showed a heel turn. Stone Cold left the ring. Ken Shamrock tried to help Stone Cold. Stone Cold gave him a stunner. And Stone Cold even said that it was a short transition from heel to baby face. And Bret Hart baby face to heel. So very good match. Very good storytelling in this match. The commentary also made this match good. Like, the match was good. It was picture perfect. I didn't want to hear, but Stone Cold and Jim Ross were very great announcers. And that moment at WrestleMania when Stone Cold's in the sharpshooter, and he has that bloody face, and he goes, "Ah!" So yeah, that was a memorable moment. I'm gonna remember this match forever, probably. I'm gonna get on to the next match now. Now it's an Intercontinental Championship match between Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rocky Maivia, which is The Rock, also known as The Rock. This match happened at G Generation X's pay-per-view in 1997. This match, it wasn't long, but it was. You don't need to have a long match to have a good match. You can have a short match, but have a lot of stuff that's good in there. Stone Cold gave a. I don't remember all the stuff he did too. D'Lo Brown did get thrown into the car. Stone Cold gave some, like this was back with the Nation of Domination, but I don't remember the exact people's names. So don't blame me. I was 1 year old at the time. I don't remember their names. But he gave someone a stunner on the car. Ron Simmons went to hit D'Lo Brown with the chair. But he failed. Then The Rock and Stone Cold fought in the ring a little bit. Rock gave him the People's Elbow, which wasn't the People's Elbow at that time. The match wasn't over. Stone Cold ended up having a comeback. By the way, Stone Cold defended the Intercontinental Championship. I should mention that. And then Stone Cold knocked Ron Simmons off the top rope. Rock tried to use, accidentally gave the referee a stunner, which was pretty funny. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin, then The Rock tried to use brass knuckles. Stone Cold gave him Rock a stunner. Then the ref came down and pinned Stone Cold for the victory. And Stone Cold pinned The Rock for the victory and retained the Intercontinental Championship. So not a long match, but good stuff happened in this match. It was more of a fight than a brawl, so that was pretty cool. And Stone Cold did end up in a truck, I should point that out. So that was a cool match, but not long. So, but it doesn't matter with the time limit, but, you don't need, like I said, you don't need to have a long match to have a good match. You just have to have a lot of spots and keep it entertaining. So let's get on with the next match. So now we have Shawn Michaels. This happened at WrestleMania 14. So Shawn Michaels defended the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was a good match, but a bad match. But it was worth watching. Again, great commentary by Stone Cold and Jim Ross. So they had a great commentary. They said that Shawn Michaels was falling under hard times, so that's why the match didn't go as they wanted to, because he even said that the fans were starting to die down. So yeah, that was pretty much it. That's pretty much why the match wasn't good, because Shawn Michaels had his back hurt. So this was Shawn Michaels' last match before he had a 4-year absence. But the match itself was okay. Shawn Michaels did end up using because DX had the music played, and Shawn Michaels would end up using the weapons, like the symbol, I don't remember if he used the microphone, so that was pretty much a street fight. Stone Cold gave him a Luthez press. By the way, I should mention that Iron Mike Tyson is the, special enforcer. If you guys don't know what a special enforcer is in, wrestling, that's, when, if the referee gets knocked out, the enforcer can come count for you. But it was a good match. Shawn Michaels went for Sweet Chin Music, blocked. Stone Cold went for Stunner, blocked. Shawn Michaels went for Sweet Chin Music, blocked. Stunner, 1, 2, 3. Stone Cold wins the World Wrestling Federation Championship for the first time ever. Mike Tyson knocked out Shawn Michaels, and put on the Stone Cold t-shirt. Cool moment, yeah, it was a cool moment, and I think it's a moment you'll remember, but the match itself, Stone Cold didn't like the way the match went, but the match itself was okay, but I think if Shawn Michaels hadn't hurt his back, we would have seen better showing of Shawn Michaels. So that's pretty much it right there. Let me get on to the next match. So now this was the last of Disc 2. This is now Disc 3. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin defended the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Dude Love in a no disqualification Falls Count Anywhere match with I have to get my phone for this. I'll be right back. Oh. I guess not. Yeah, it's a couple times. Try to. Okay. So, Pat Patterson was the guest ring announcer. Jerry Briscoe was the timekeeper. And Vince McMahon was the special guest referee. And, Vince McMahon, in the build-up, offered someone to, because he didn't think no one was going to accept, offered someone to come out and make sure that Vince called it right down the middle. So he didn't think anyone was coming out, but then The Undertaker comes out. And that was pretty cool seeing The Undertaker come out. But for the match itself, it was a good match. Stone Cold and Dude Love. I wish, if this Dude Love wasn't Dude Love, though, I wish he had been somebody else. But it's okay, I guess. Dude Love ended up throwing Stone Cold, I think, throat first into the steel steps. He dominated a little bit. Stone Cold came back with right hands. And Stone Cold would end up throwing Dude Love all around the ring into Jerry Briscoe. Then Mick Foley ended up giving Stone Cold a for the neck breaker. And he told. And throughout he changes the rules of the match. They go and fight on the cars. Stone Cold gets thrown onto glass, the windshield of the car. Dude Love went for a pile driver. Stone Cold countered and into a back body drop off the car. They fight back to the ring. Stone Cold, Dude Love has a chair. He's using the chair. Stone Cold's coming back. Dude Love accidentally hits the chair off the head of Mr. McMahon. Then he gives the minimal claw to Stone Cold. Then Pat Patterson tries to come in and count for Dude Love, but Taker chokeslams him through the announce table. And then Jerry Briscoe tries to do the same thing, and he chokeslams him through the announce table. So that was funny. But this first time was funny because you didn't expect it. But the second time was still funny, though. Because why would you go in there if you saw what happened to Pat Patterson? I would just stay outside the ring. But then Stone Cold ended up getting the stunner. He made Vince McMahon count for him. And Stone Cold retained the WWF Championship. Very good match. no complaints. And yeah, so that no complaints really. So that let's get on with the next match. No, I'm not gonna go by my phone. I'm gonna go by this a little bit. I just had to go by that for a second. Now this one is Stone Cold defending the World Wrestling Federation Championship against The Undertaker. This happened at SummerSlam 1998. This was also a very good match. Very good technical stuff. Stone Cold going for the Luther's press, roll-ups. Kane tried to come out, but Taker told him no. Then Taker chokeslam Stone Cold over the rope onto the in the ring. Taker tries the pin. He fails. Stone Cold and Taker fight outside the ring. Then Taker dominates Stone Cold a little bit. Then we had a great leg drop, and the table didn't completely break, but the top of it broke, but it was still good. Stone Cold and Taker fighting. Taker hits a choke slam. Nobody. He kicks out. I should also mention that Taker does work on the leg a lot. And Stone Cold went for the Luther's press early before all this happened, but Taker slingshot him into the ropes. But then eventually he would hit it and he would connect. Stone Cold went for stunner. It failed. Taker went for tombstone. Failed. Stone Cold hit the stunner. Pin Taker. Retain the World Wrestling Federation title. Taker grabbed the title. You think he's going to hit him off the head with the belt, but that didn't end up happening. Taker handed the belt to Stone Cold, and as a sign of respect, Taker walked away. Kane comes back out. They are both looking on with Stone Cold, and that was just a cool moment to see. So there was a good match and a good moments after the match. So yeah, very good SummerSlam match. Now that's a SummerSlam match. I won't have to review all my SummerSlam stuff. Let me get on with the next match. Now, the next match is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Big Show. Mankind's the special guest referee in this match. This match was okay, I guess, but, a Big Show match, I guess it was okay, I guess. Stone Cold Steve Austin and him do fight a lot. Big Show just completely manhandles him in the beginning. He, gives him a gorilla slam on the concrete floor. Stone Cold. This was actually pretty cool. I guess Big Show went to ram Stone Cold's shoulder into the post. Stone Cold moves. He puts Big Show's head into the post, but it doesn't affect him. So, but then Mankind has a chair. He threatens to hit Big Show with the chair if he doesn't get Stone Cold in the ring. He eventually does get Stone Cold in the ring. Then Stone Cold has a great comeback. He hits him with the chair. Then he gives him Big Show the stunner, wins the match. And then Big Show throws Mankind out of the ring. Then it kind of like cuts out. So I don't really know what happens. But after that, very good match, very good moment. I just love this. I wish they did more stuff like this. But match was okay, I guess. I mean, I overrated the match, but the match was okay. I think Mick Foley made the match what it was, and I think Stone Cold, knowing how to work with others, made the match what it was. But the match wasn't that good. But it was worth watching, though. So the next match is The Rock defended the World Wrestling Federation Championship against Stone Cold Steve Austin in a no disqualification match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. This happened at WrestleMania 15. This match was very, very good. Not my favorite match they had at WrestleMania, but it was still a good match. They had a great brawl. Stone Cold throws The Rock into like the barricade. He hits it with a clothesline. Stone Cold's knee gets thrown into like a camera. Stone Cold and Rock are fighting outside the ring. Then eventually it hits like into the announcers. Stone Cold, he kind of botched, did like a hot, I'm gonna kind of call it the elbow. It was like an axe handle to the heart, but the table didn't break it first, so Stone Cold did it again. Then the table broke. So that was so it took a while for the table to break. Then The Rock ended up hitting the rock bottom on Stone Cold. no count. Rock kept hitting Austin with the chair, pinned him, no count. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin would get the upper hand, but he hit the stunner. The referee got pulled outside the ring. Vince McMahon eventually comes down. They both stomp on Stone Cold. Mankind, who was supposed to be the referee, I don't know why, but I'll find out when I do my WrestleMania 15 review, punches Vince, gets down to business with the match. The Rock hits the People's Elbow. No count. He goes for it again. Misses. Austin hits the stunner. 1, 2, 3. Austin wins the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Very good match. They're both celebrating. Stone Cold Steve Austin gives Vince McMahon a stunner. Then he just leaves. So it was a cool match. Not my favorite match out of them, but they still had a good match. They had pretty good build-up. At the time, The Rock was heel and Stone Cold was face. So that was a cool match. So I have to give that a thumbs up. Thumbs up to that match. Cool match. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock always work well together. And we're going to find out later. So let's get on. The next match is pretty much the same match and the same stipulation, except it's at WrestleMania 17. This match, I think, was a little bit better than the other match because they were both babyface, so you didn't know which one really to root for. I did, but you would want The Rock to win though. So that the match was very awesome. I did like this match. Okay, it wasn't very awesome, but it was awesome. One of my favorite matches of all time. Because of the storytelling in this match. They even said this was a great storytelling. Stone Cold even said that the Rock, that he loves to work with The Rock. He works very well with The Rock. Stone Cold and The Rock had a very good opening sequence. Stone Cold would dominate the match, but it was still a very fun match to watch. The Rock got busted open, I think by the ring bell. For some reason, I think when The Rock was on the announce table, for some reason the table broke. I don't really understand that, but the match was still good. That's just something I didn't really understand. The Rock, there wasn't really any comeback moves either. There was just two guys getting in the ring wrestling, and you just wrestle. I don't know why they can't do that today. It's just, okay, John Cena, you're gonna go in there, you're gonna get dominated, then you're gonna do your 5 moves of doom. You win the match. This match, it's like, okay, you guys go wrestle. You guys are going to have back and forth stuff. Luthez press. Rock again hit Stone Cold with the bell. Then we had The Rock and the sharpshooter. We had The Rock giving Stone Cold the sharpshooter. Then we had a flashback from WrestleMania. By the way, Stone Cold and Jim Ross commentated this. And they said, prelude to WrestleMania. And this was in Texas. So the fans didn't like The Rock. So they liked The Rock, but they didn't like what The Rock, because Stone Cold, anyone's in the hometown, their opponent gets booed. So that's pretty much what The Rock was at. Then we get stunners and rock bottoms. They kick out. Eventually Vince McMahon comes down to the ring. And he's down there. He gets a chair and sits down and watches the match. Stone Cold and The Rock are still brawling. The Rock hits I think a People's Elbow on Stone Cold, goes for the pin. Vince McMahon pulls the referee outside the ring. Rock goes to chase McMahon. Stone Cold hits a clothesline. Then we find out that Stone Cold and Vince McMahon are working together, and so that was cool. We have Stone Cold constantly hitting The Rock over the head with a chair. They kick out. Rock does hit a rock bottom. Beats down Vince a little bit. Then Stone Cold ended up hitting off the head again. He beat him down with the chair. And then he ended up pinning. So that was a sign that Stone Cold was heel. They said it would have worked better if they weren't in Texas, though, which is understandable because the fans love Stone Cold no matter where you are. if you're in your hometown, your fans will love you. So Stone Cold Steve Austin ended up winning the World Wrestling Federation title, and we never thought we would see Stone Cold and McMahon together. So that was pretty cool. Stone Cold Steve Austin. As for the matches, though, all the matches, I'm going to actually get to that at the end. So let me get on to the promos. Now this disc 4 is the promo disc. So this one was a Flair for the Old. So this was back when he was tag team partners with Flying Brian, also known as Brian Pillman. And this is Stunning Steve Austin, also known as Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was back when Stone Cold. So yeah, they were pretty much mocking Ric Flair. And he's like, hold on, I gotta take my medication. Arn Anderson eventually would come down, beat down Stone Cold. But it was really funny though. You had to take his medication. Yeah, this was really. It was like, it wasn't bad, but it was like funny. Like there was some when they actually mock him, like when the NWO mocked him for what's it called? Four Horsemen. That was bad. I could not watch that. I hated that. It was ridiculous. But this actually wasn't really that ridiculous because it was like, I think it's like funny. It was actually really funny. He's like, I have to take my medication. I have a maid that does everything for me. Arn Anderson wasn't happy about this. They gave him right hands. They threw him in the ring. Stone Cold got beat down until Flying Brian came in. I guess he hit him with the cane. They beat him down. Then I guess they ran out of time, and the show was over. So that was pretty cool. That was the only WCW segment we saw. I wish we could have seen a little bit more. But the next promo is a bunch of violent crap. These next promos, it's also called Monday, NyQuil, and Flat Out Disgusted. He's pretty much, Stone Cold's cutting promos on WCW. He's pretty much making fun of WCW because, if you didn't know this, Eric Bischoff called him on the phone and, fired him. So, that was something. So he fired him over the phone. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy that, he was the #1 contender to the title. He was so great. He was so mad that he got fired. He would make fun of him by making Eric Bischoff on commentary call crap. He was so but then in the third one, he was mad that Sandman beat. I think it was the Sandman. I don't remember who beat him, but he wasn't fully ready because he had an injury. He said eventually he's going to be the ECW champion. So that's pretty much all these three promos are explaining. But they were great promos. Stone Cold had cut great promos. He always does, but that was pretty cool. The next promo is my exact opinion of Bret Hart. So he pretty much just says that I don't remember exactly what he says, but he says that if Bret Hart ever comes to this ring, he'll beat the hell out of him. He'll retire him. This is with Owen Hart and Brian Pillman. I couldn't recognize him at first, but I think that was Brian Pillman. He said that eventually I'll be a champion, just gonna be sitting out. You're just going to be sitting at home. Then he just kind of leaves. I don't really remember what he says. But it was very good. Like, if you have this DVD, you can watch that promo because I don't really remember what he said. But then we have him on Livewire. And I don't remember the people's names. But the guy the guy and the girl. And he's like, there's something I have to tell you. And I guess he was going to tell him that he loved her or something. I don't really know what he was going to say. But Stone Cold, like, comes in and interrupts. He's like, what do you think you're doing? I'm waiting here trying to get on the show. He's like, we're going to build you up to come on the show so people will get more hyped about it. He's like, you don't need to build me up for nothing. Nothing. So Stone Cold, a great heel. He gets questions like, why do you do this stuff? Dude, no one's going to like you. Then he's like, no one will like me. Well, no one will, well, I don't give a rat's ass what people think about me. And he pretty much says that if Bret Hart ever comes back, he's gonna make him retire. That that eventually he'll get a championship match. all the champions are scared of him. So this was a great promo as well. Yeah, that was a great promo. I like that promo. Just keep this, like, they keep it up too. Like, look at it. Like, let's get on with the next one. Home invasion. If you guys don't know this, he invades Brian Pillman's house, and he tries to get in the house. Brian Pillman has a gun. It's a real gun, but it probably wasn't. Stone Cold beats down his friends. Then he tries to get in his house. He eventually does get in his house. Then Brian Pillman gets the gun, but then it gets cut off, and it doesn't show the gun anymore because the TV. I'm just gonna say it in the OMG movie I have. They're not very happy that the TV people weren't very happy, and so they cut it off. We don't really know if anyone got shot. So it doesn't really show what happens after that, but it was pretty cool. I think you know that he didn't get shot, but it was like, wow, they actually showed a gun on TV, and it was pretty cool. I wish they actually had cut it off though, like he actually go boom and then they cut off the show. That would have been awesome. But at the time, I think they were still main eventing and stuff. So yeah, like, luckily his kids weren't there. So maybe. So the next match was New Sensation Award. Oh, okay. This was a Superstar Award. The Rock won this award. He thanked all his family and pretty much. The person who was announcing the awards said that Stone Cold came in second place. And Stone Cold pretty much just isn't happy that he came in second place. He said he should have come in first place. I made more impact than anybody. I'm gonna beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania. You'll see. So and then he wins what does he win? He wins Freedom of Speech Award. That was cool. It's cool seeing him win Freedom of Speech. He pretty much says he's gonna beat Bret Hart at WrestleMania. Doink the Clown's in there. And then after his speech, Doink the Clown sprays him with something that Stone Cold just kind of attacks him. And what do you expect? He sprayed something in you. But that was pretty. I guess that was pretty cool. That was a cool segment. Then we have ambulance attack, and I guess Stone Cold just pretty much comes and attacks him in the ambulance, which was pretty cool. Then they eventually just break it up, so that was pretty cool, I guess. The world's most. This is after he had Owen Hart had broken his neck, and he can't wrestle anymore. And he's mad that he had to give up the Intercontinental Championship and the Tag Team Championships. And I don't blame him for being mad. I would be mad too. But then Vince McMahon says you have to work within the systems. We care about you. We don't want you to get hurt. He's like, this is all I have. I love doing this. This is my job. You're not the one sitting your ass at the house and watching your job be thrown away. So he's like, so I appreciate that you care, but I also appreciate you kissing my ass. So then he gives him the stunner. He goes to jail. So that was funny. I think that's when the Vince McMahon and Stone Cold feud really picked up. So that was pretty cool. Now we have Tyson and Austin. Vince McMahon introduced. This was cool. Vince McMahon, and they showed us a lot. Vince McMahon introduces Mike Tyson. He had a big announcement. Stone Cold said that he wants a piece of Mike Tyson's ass. He thinks he could beat Mike Tyson. He said, you may be the baddest man on the planet, but this is the WWE kid. Well, actually, at the time, WWF. Then Stone Cold's like, if you don't understand, here's a little bit of sign language. Then Stone Cold attacks Mike Tyson. And JR is like, Tyson and Austin! Tyson and Austin. Unfortunately, we didn't get as much as we wanted. But we did get stuff. Vince McMahon also says, you ruined it! You ruined it! So that was hilarious. I actually loved that. Loved that. It was awesome. But let's get on with the next one. The easy way or the hard way. So this was actually very funny. So Vince McMahon is going to give Stone Cold a new title. He's like, I know we got off the wrong foot, and I love you, and I think you're a hell of a guy. And he's like, you're what? I said, you said what? He's like, I think you're a hell of a guy. And he's like, yeah, but what did you say before that? And he's like, I said, then he's like, oh, I know what I said. It was an expression. And he's like, what did you say? Then he says outside the microphone, he's like, I said I love you, but it's a freedom of speech. Then he's like, say it in the microphone, pal, no everyone can hear you. He's like, I said I love you. He's like, I love you too, man, but you're saying a bunch of crap. Then so it's like, you can either choose the easy way or the hard way. So the easy way, I guess, pretty much is you do whatever Vince McMahon tells you to do. You do whatever, and you just do it. I guess the hard way it would be you do what you don't side with Vince McMahon. I guess the stunner, and he just gave him. He's like, give me 10 seconds to think about it. He stunners him, and I guess that chooses the hard way. That was awesome though, very funny. Then he takes his belt and leaves. Hilarious stuff. I loved it. Next thing is the Zamboni. So Austin had gotten screwed out of the WWF Championship, so the title is vacant. Vince is trying to decide to give it to Taker or Kane, but then Austin comes in with the Zamboni, which is just awesome. He comes, and then Austin gets McMahon, and then the famous thing when JR says, Austin's got McMahon! Austin's got McMahon! Then he didn't get as much as he wanted. Vince McMahon tried to pound him, but Stone Cold still took him down. Stone Cold goes to jail. Vince is like, and then he's like, I'm not through with it, Vince. I'm not through with it yet. He's like, you go to jail, damn it! You go to jail! And then Stone Cold gets in the car. So that was awesome. That was just awesome. Then the next thing is Paige and Dr. Austin. This was hilarious. Stone Cold's in the hospital. I'm not exactly sure why. Then the nurse, I guess, is checking his blood pressure. He's like, you can take it from here, Doc. He's like, thank you, nurse. Then it's Stone Cold. He attacks Stone Cold, beats the foot, hits him over the head with a pan. He just assaults Vince McMahon. He shocks him with, like, the stuff. I don't remember what it's called, but it shocks you. I don't know what it's called. Then he sticks something right up his ass. So that was hilarious. And then the next thing is Mr. McMahon's Dementia Corvette. Mr. McMahon got a new Corvette. This is after he just got out of the hospital, and he's driving. I don't know why he's driving, but he's driving. Then Vince McMahon says, make sure nothing happens to it. Stone Cold is allowed to come here. Stone Cold comes with a cement truck. He pours cement all over Vince McMahon's cement truck, and Vince McMahon's pissed. So that was hilarious. There's a lot of, and then, so I'll just get to that later. Then I'll just get on to the next thing. Bane 316. This was also hilarious. It shows Vince McMahon saying, you don't cross Vince McMahon. Stone Cold puts something in Vince McMahon's pocket. He has a gun, and everyone's like, oh, don't do this now. He shoots the gun. It says Bane 316. And JR's like, it's a toy. It's a toy. And then he's like, McMahon 316, since I just peed my pants. Then Stone Cold gives him a stunner. Hilarious stuff right there. Awesome moment. Let me get on with the next one before I get ahead of myself. Stone Cold beer truck. Now this is something worth talking about. The Rock and Vince are cutting a promo. Stone Cold comes out and he says, if you're ready for WrestleMania, give me a hell yeah. He said he's sick and tired of The Rock talking crap. Stone Cold grabs the beer truck, sprays Vince, Rock, and Shane McMahon. And Vince McMahon's like trying to swim to get out of it. So that was hilarious. He's swimming. And Stone Cold is pretty much done. But the beer truck was awesome. You never thought you'd see something like that. That was just awesome. Now we have Austin's Revenge. This is after Triple H and Rikishi run over Stone Cold. Triple H is trying to run him over again. He's looking for Stone Cold. He's like, Austin. Then what's it called? He has I'm gonna call what's it called? It's not a Zamboni. I forget what it's called. I'm just gonna. He had like this thing, and he picked up Triple H. He kept putting him higher and higher, and he just dropped him. If only I can remember what it's called. I guess he got his revenge, but I'm sorry, I don't remember what it's called that he did it with. Then we have Jim Ross interview Stone Cold and The Rock. This is after WrestleMania, and I wish they do more stuff like this. Stone Cold Steve Austin pretty much is they're going back and forth. He's like I don't like you personally. Professionally, I respect the hell out of you. You win out the breast in me. The both are very happy. The Rock's gonna come with everything he's got. Stone Cold's gonna come with everything he's got. The World Wrestling, he said the World Wrestling Federation to The Rock means that I'm the very best. Stone Cold is like, why aren't you asking me that question? So then he says it means I'm awesome. It means it means I'm number one. Stone Cold needs to beat The Rock. Stone Cold gives Stone Cold hold on, I need to catch my breath. I don't but Stone Cold ends up keeps talking. Stone Cold ends up saying that he needs to beat The Rock, and said JR says to tune into Mania. So that was cool. I like that promo. I wish they had done like a backstage segment where someone interviewed Cena and The Rock, and they had said everything, but that didn't happen. I wish that had happened, but that didn't happen. So that was pretty cool. Then we have Gift Giving Mood. And this was hilarious. This is after Austin had turned heel. Vince McMahon's upset that the alliance thing's not going as well. So Stone Cold gives Vince McMahon a gift, and Stone Cold gives himself the gift. And Stone Cold, they both open them. The cowboy hats, and they put them on. Kurt Angle comes in, and he's like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, I got Vince a gift. I was from the good old Texas. And he's like, oh. It's like, what's the matter? And he's like, well, Vince got a gift. You got a gift. You didn't get me a gift. Then Cold gives Kurt Angle a gift. And it's a small Canadian hat. And he's like, yippee-ki-yay, or something. So then it kind of ends. But that was hilarious, though. I gotta give them props. That was awesome. Stone Cold and Kurt Angle cut funny. They cut funny stuff like that together. The next thing is Mr. McMahon's Alliance Woes. This is pretty much saying that Stone Cold Steve Austin comes in. He tries to cheer Vince up by singing to him, and he just was awful. Kurt Angle comes in. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to sing to Vince. I'm singing to Vince." Then he's like, I used to play guitar when I was a singer. Then Kurt Angle starts jamming. Vince McMahon leaves. He's still singing. He's like, Kurt, what are you doing? I'm trying to cheer up Vince. Where is he? Then he's gone. Like, you scared him away. You stink. Then he's like, you were worse than me. He's like, I took guitar lessons for 2 years. I don't stink. I'm great. So then it ends, and then Stone Cold, and then it comes back with the Alliance with Chris Jericho, Kane, Undertaker, Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle backstage. Then Stone Cold's repeating everything Vince McMahon says. He taps Taker on the back and like, do that again. I can't really hear him. He's like, do that again. I dare you. Then Chris Jericho, they asked if anyone anything. Chris Jericho says he's in. Kane says just not to say things. And then Taker's like, why can't me and Kane take him out? It's like, because this isn't a two-man job. Stone Cold's like, I'm in. Count me in. Then Kurt Angle's like, and he's like, count me in too. He's like, and then it kind of ends. So that was cool. Then we have the old Stone Cold Vince McMahon cuts a promo. Well, it was backstage. He's like, the old Stone Cold's back. And he's like, and then he asks for water. He goes to hug him. He's like, I don't want to hug you. I don't want to hug you. Then he's like, do you want anything to drink? And he's like, I'll have some water. I want some beef later, but water's fine. Then Vince McMahon comes and says he tries to say, but he stinks. Stone Cold goes to tune the guitar, and then he just hits Vince over the head with the guitar and leaves. That was funny. Then we have Whataburger. Stone Cold's backstage talking about the Rumble. This is pretty much the birth of what. He's like, and then he's pretty much saying what in between. What, and then he's saying all this funny stuff that he ride a bull. He's gonna go get a Whataburger with double cheese, Whataburger with no cheese, Whataburger with some French fries, all that stuff. So that was funny. Then he just said he's gonna win the Rumble. Great interview right there. That tore the house. Then we have the highlight reel. This was also like every single one of these was funny. Stone Cold Steve Austin's pretty much in the ring. He's going he says if you think Bischoff is whining and complaining, and they all have the beers. They have beers, and Chris Jericho like if you want to see Chris Jericho, I can say doody dum dee 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 doo. Then actually before that, Stone Cold says I changed another match, and we go what? Said I changed another match, and they go what? Said I changed another match, and then he goes what? And then he changes a Triple H and Kevin Nash regular match to a street fight. Then Stone Cold, and then they all have beers together. Stone Cold says he wants to feel extremely violent. And then they go boo, and he's like, "Don't get me wrong, I'm so feeling violent." So then he stuns Jericho. Then he stuns Bischoff. Then he gives Jericho a right hand before he leaves. So that was fine, and that's pretty much it for the DVD, guys. That's pretty much it for this DVD right here. So do I recommend this DVD? Absolutely. This was an amazing DVD. This was this is probably my favorite DVD that I've watched in a long time. Of wrestling anyways. But this DVD is a great thing to watch. It's definitely worth your time. If you don't like this DVD, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I know you have your opinions, but this DVD is probably one of the best things. This DVD is probably a lot of things, and this DVD is just great. It's just great. It's funny, good match. You get great matches. It's definitely worth watching. This DVD is a great pickup. I definitely recommend this DVD. If you don't like this DVD, you must have something wrong with you. You must be drunk or something. But this DVD, definitely watch this. It's definitely worth your time. You could fast. The only matches I wouldn't consider you watching, like watch every match. But if you don't want to watch some matches, and you want to see like great matches, don't watch the Stone Cold versus Big Show match. And I guess you could skip the Stone Cold and Jake the Snake Robert match because it was just a squash. But definitely watch his King of the Ring speech. So that's pretty much it, guys. Expect a Raw review coming up tonight. But this DVD, I finally got to review this. I got this out there. So now I have my next DVD will be the Best of Raw and SmackDown 2011 DVD. So that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.